It stings, as it should. You know, anytime losing stings, especially finishing your season like this. Um, but it just wasn't our year. Say it again.
Why do you feel like it wasn't your year? And obviously, you went through a lot physically this year as well. Did it just kind of feel that way for
I mean, yeah. I mean, it wasn't our year because we lost tonight. But you know, yeah, battling through injury, we had some ups and downs, X, Y, and Z. But I'm proud of our guys that came out and fought. So still have a lot to hang our head about. Just tonight, just unfortunate. It sucks.
how bad was the injury? Do you thought you were going
Um, Nothing to talk about right now, but we'll see how the next steps, and you just kind of sit back and process and see what the next steps are.
Jaylen, you consistently use the offseason to come back a better player. Do you know what you want to work on this summer, or does that take time to refine and then go after?
Um, you take time, sit back and kind of figure it out. But I'm excited. Things didn't go your way this year. Things didn't go our way this year, and it's unfortunate. But we hold our head up regardless. Losing to the Knicks, feels like death. But I was always taught that there's life after death. So we'll get ready for whatever's next. Whatever's next in the journey, I'll be ready for.
Jaylen, two major unexpected events for you to end the season. Obviously, the season ending in the second round and Jason's injury. How did those two things maybe reshape what you thought your summer was going to be like and how you come back next season?
Yeah, completely. Finishing in May feels weird. Definitely not something we were prepared for. Obviously, Jason, his injury, etc. I'm sure there's a lot to process, just as everything, this whole year. But we'll meet. We'll take a couple days. It's hard, like processing it all right now in real time. Y'all throwing all these questions at me, but I'm happy that our group, stayed together. It was an honor to share the locker room with a lot of these guys. It hurt to see, the emotions of all the guys, being a leader and, not being able to carry everybody to the promised land. It sucks, but it just wasn't our year.
Yeah, what was your view or kind of assessment of how Joe navigated you guys through this season?
I thought we had a great year. Joe prepared us as best he could. We had a great mindset. We had a great mentality. Um, we had some unfortunate events. We had some injuries and things like that. No excuses, but it just wasn't our year.
What was your perspective of everything that went into Kristaps playing, just kind of the journey he's been on since we have been on this mark?
For sure. KP's been a large part of our success, our recent success last year, even going into this year. In the playoffs, wasn't feeling his best. But we appreciate him getting out there, and KP is a tough guy. He has a great mentality, a great approach about himself and his game and his body. It's a tough process for everybody, but KP, from an injury perspective, he was available all year long. He helped us all year long, and it's just unfortunate that it ended this way.
Jaylen, you're used to not winning the championship. That's the norm, right? So last year you guys do it, you don't have to deal with this feeling. What does it feel like now coming up short compared to before you experienced this like championship?
was
So what feels different about not winning now that you actually know what it's like to win the championship?
it feels the same. It almost feels worse. We were trying to do something special, go back to back. We had a great group. We played well all year, so I think this probably stings even more. We just had some unfortunate events, some injuries. Personally, I had some stuff that I was persevering through, and it just, it caught up to us in the end.
You mentioned how it was an honor to play with these guys. What made this group in particular just such a joy to play with?
Just a bunch of great guys, a bunch of, great selfless guys about winning, that, put their bodies on the line, that came into work every day, that, just added to the group. Yeah, no situations, no headaches, no turmoil or anything like that. And, that's most important, that our group we had a bunch of great days together. We didn't win in the end.
Last question, Gary.
Jaylen, is this being kind of knocked back to the bottom of the mountain with others? Can that be served as motivation? Is this kind of it's a bad day or down, but is it also a motivating day? Can you point back to this, you and the franchise, and point back to this and go, this could be a positive in a sense?
Absolutely. I don't make no excuses. Obviously, it's tough the way we went out like tonight, but the way we finished the year, personally, where I finished the year, persevering through some physical stuff that I was battling through. I'm proud of our group. I thought that, we fought. We was in a lot of battles, and it's a lot to be excited for. This journey is not the end. It's not the end for me. I'm looking forward to coming back stronger. So, you just take this with your chin up. I know Boston, it looks gloomy right now. Obviously with JT being out and us, kind of ending the year. But it's a lot to look forward It's a lot to look forward to, and I want the city to feel excited about that. Like this is not the end. So I'm looking forward to what's next.
The way it ended versus what goes into the process of a season versus just this one game when there's not another game? What goes into the process?
Yeah, good question. I mean, I think you have to have there's a perspective. At the end of the day, we set a goal out. We didn't achieve that goal, but shouldn't take away, from me, from the mindset and the effort that the players put in. So, we have a responsibility and ownership. We didn't do it, but the approach, the process to it, you can't ask for any more from the guys. So I thought they gave it everything they had throughout the season. Obviously we didn't achieve that, but you can't take away from what they did. This is the price you pay for trying to go after something, and that's how it goes. But I'm really just thankful to the guys, for who they are as people and what they've done as players, what they've done as a team.
Larry? Joe, now that you're on the other side of it, just what was the emotional toll of this series, the way it went with giving up big leads at home, and then obviously we got punched midway through. What's the emotion kind of flowing through?
There wasn't really. It wasn't really much emotion there. It was that's just the way it goes. You can't have an expectation that a series is supposed to go a certain way. Obviously, losing a player to that type of injury was tough, but that's part of it. And you move on. You move on as a team, and that's it.
Joe, you've talked a lot about champions not being able to get out of the second round. You guys were, cruising along, 60-win season. You got through that first round. It was tough, but you got through it pretty quickly. What is it about the second round that all of a sudden everything seems just changed? Almost, let's say, you look like a different team, but a lot of things changed.
Oh yeah, I think that's what we'll spend the summer looking through is the differences that would have that, but that's obviously a psychological hurdle over the last 7, 8 years now, and so spent time studying that this off season. Just wasn't able to get through that hurdle.
Similar to that, Joe, what stood out about the challenge this year when you look back on the league? What is kind of that hurdle you felt like you guys
I mean, I didn't think we couldn't get it over until this round, and so that's obviously something we came into the season having an understanding. I think it's 5, 6, or 7. It might have been 5 or 6 now, 7 of the champs from the last year haven't made it, and so you work to put in parameters, psychological, mental toughness parameters, things you talk about it, but at the end of the day, there's just as many teams wanting to win, and so you got to execute, you got to do all those things, and to me, it's not about our guys. They did everything they could. You got to tip your hats off to the Knicks. They played a great series. They've been great all year. Tibbs is a great coach, so you got to tip your hat off to them.
But you talked about how many things have to go right to win a championship.
Yeah.
Role play, momentum things throughout the season. Did you feel like there was anything different about this year's team from last year's team, or was it more just kind of those moments, those winning moments you had last year? You weren't able to do that in these playoffs?
Yeah, it's a good one. I didn't see anything different. I saw something better. I mean, I saw throughout the season our guys had the right mindset and the right process towards going after it. You obviously it's not going to go the way you want it to every year. I like the way we ended it. You just ran into a great team in the second round. And they got the best of us. But like I said, to me, it's more about the mindset and the process that the guys had throughout the season. They thought they gave it everything they had. I thought they really went after it, trying to achieve something that's obviously extremely difficult. I thought they went after that, and when you go after something, this is the price you pay.
Gary Sack, Gary.
Did you see it all with the team? Did you see, this team, before you got here, in the conference finals, this core has done a lot, but it just seemed like tonight was the night that the gas tank ran out. Did you see that? Not even tonight, but just throughout this series, did you see, as much as you didn't want to maybe admit, okay, like we don't have what we had before?
No, I did not. I did not see that fatigue. Obviously, I saw that tonight a little bit, but I didn't see that throughout the season. I didn't see that throughout the series. No.
Joe, just in your view, what caused tonight's game to play out so much different from the first time?
I mean, you got to tip your hat off to the Knicks. I mean, they outplayed us. They played better. I'm happy for Tibbs. He's been coaching for a long time. To me, that's the biggest thing. Is you pay your dues, you put forth everything. That guy's a lifer, man. He's everything a coach is all about, and he deserves it. So I think it's more about that, and they deserve it as a team, and you got to tip your hat off to them.
Joe, for years up until last season, this team had such a penchant for getting big leads and then had trouble holding on to them. That's part of the natural flow of the game. But these first 2 games in the series, you guys blew those big leads. What was the accomplishment, I guess, of building a team, maybe up until the series, that was able to build big leads and hold on to them, and then what was so difficult about it in this series?
I thought that just the Knicks made huge momentum plays in those things to take advantage of that and keep them and be able to bring themselves back into the games. And, all those things that you talk about, end of quarters, start of quarters, momentum plays of offensive rebounds, they made all those plays. And, those are the things that regardless of if you work on them 1 day, 2 days, 2 years, 3 years, there's stuff that you got to retool every single day. And those are the habits that, impact games. As you saw, they can impact games, they can impact a series. So those habits you have to commit to like every single day, all the time, every year.
Final for you, Adam B. Roger. You said it all the time. This is the price you pay for going after. Is that feeling the weight of being behind it, or what do you think of the price you pay?
No, I mean, if you're going to be in the arena and you're going to, first of all, if you're going to be coaching for a long time, you're going to have a lot more probably heartbreaks than you are joyful moments. I think if you look at the perspective, and that's just how it goes. And so when you step into the arena and you go after something, that's how it goes. So it has nothing about do the weight of it or anything. It's just, most coaches, the ratio of heartbreak to success at the end of the year, you probably have more of those. If you're going to be in it for a long time, you can't expect it to go the way that you can't expect it to go your way. You can't expect it to go the way you want it all the time. That's just part of it, and you have to be able to accept those both of those things. And that's the arena.
Obviously, national appreciate us for making you guys have been over this year. Most guys back. How would you reflect on what this group over the last year, what you guys are able to do this happened together?
Yeah, like I said, I told the guys in the locker room, one of the honors of my life would be able to coach this group of guys. So you go down the list, every one of these guys is a champion, a warrior, and they've done a lot of great things in this league. And it's an honor to be able to share a locker room with them and be next to them on the court and be in the arena with them. So I'm grateful for that, and to me, it just shows who they are as people and who they are as players. But that's really what it's all about. Is those guys, they came in. We had a legit shot at it, and they gave everything they had to try to go. But we ran into a better team.
Obviously, Jason's looking at a long rehab. Does it hurt more knowing that by the time he comes back, things could be changed, the roster could be changed? Because realistically, it might have been the last chance for this group as a team. And then moving forward, how you guys have to respond to that, and what weight will the rest of you guys have to carry next year?
I haven't really thought 1 second of that. More just focused on the guys in that locker room right now, and grateful for the effort and what they put through on that, and that's really all that matters.
Obviously, you win a championship, and you got that target on your back from day one. And obviously, there's ups and downs through every season, and this part sucks. And just wasn't able to complete the goal that we set out at the beginning.
When a season ends like this, you also have to have the context of what you accomplished for the season, and Keith's point, injury, things like that. Like, how do you process a moment like this while also moving forward with knowing that not like next game?
It sucks. We're never gonna get this season back. Never gonna have the exact same team again. And so obviously there was some highs and obviously some lows of a season, and but at the moment it just, you're just kind of down.
You think about, like you just mentioned, that you're not going to have the same team again. You have the luxury of basically running it back this year. Is there any sense of, I don't know, regret or something that you guys weren't able to kind of accomplish what you were able to accomplish last year, knowing that a lot of these guys are, or some of these guys might not be back?
I mean, we didn't have the same team this year we had last year. Obviously we had a lot of guys back, but we didn't have the same ones. And so every year it's a different team, and obviously it's disappointing. We just had a goal at the beginning of the year, and we fell short.
You're as close to Jason as anyone on the team. I guess what's have your conversations been like with him? What in the past days been like for him?
Yeah, honestly, it's tough. Guy that loves basketball as much as he does, and I don't know, probably it is the worst injury he's ever had, and so just try to encourage him, and I know he's starting a long journey, and he's going to do everything he can to get back out there and play.
Yeah, to live through, to see how tough it is to repeat, to see how tough it is to go through the thing again. Is that kind of just something you've got to learn? I mean, there have been no repeat champions since 2018. Just how much good health you have to have, how much chemistry, everything seems to have to go right. Is that just a tough thing to kind of endure and experience?
Yeah, obviously, going back-to-back's tough, but winning a championship is hard. Every year, a lot of teams set out to do that, and next year is going to be the same difficult challenge of winning a championship. So, obviously, we didn't go back-to-back, but it's hard to win in this league, and you just got to learn and grow.
Looking at these past few seasons, like this team has done a lot of the kind of innovative stuff that set the direction for how the NBA is playing right now, and you've been a big part of that. I mean, what are you proud of the way that your game and this team has evolved?
I just love playing with the guys that we have in that locker room. Just great group of guys that compete at a high level. Off the court, just have a lot of fun, and I think that's just what I'll probably be the most proud of, is just being able to say that I put on a Boston Celtics uniform with some amazing group of people, and you go down the list of every person that's been on the Celtics since I've been here. It's just that's probably what I'm most proud of.
Do you guys reflect on the fact that changes may happen this summer and you don't necessarily have the same signals that you're kind of reflecting on that right now?
I mean, I just gotta focus on what I need to focus on, which is obviously I got a lot of room for improvement. So I gotta get better. Obviously, they're gonna do their jobs, and my job right now is to get better.
Taking it all, I mean, you, Jason, and Drew all played in the Olympics. I mean, when you kind of reflect on it, you're now 100-game season almost. I mean, is it just, are you more tired now than you were ever in your career with this fatigue any factor in some of the guys?
Nah.
Was there anything in particular that stood out at some point in this game where things kind of just went left?
Well, it seemed like it went left pretty quick.
Thank you, Derek.